What's going on, guys? We're back with a brand new AFL video. So before we get in this video, if you are not subscribed, please go down below and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 300 subscribers as soon as possible, but thank you guys for 250 subscribers. I can't believe we got 250 so fast. Let's just keep on growing, keep this family growing, keep this community of people that love football growing. And if you didn't know, if you haven't realised yet, I upload daily AFL videos at 4 PM every single day. So if you want to get notified, go down below and hit that notification bell. Now let's get straight into the video. So we're doing the 2012 AFL Draft, and I feel like this draft kind of doesn't really get talked about too much, due to almost how weak it is. Like, this draft is pretty weak. Like, there's a few talented players, don't get me wrong. Like, pretty much every draft class has talented players. But after all the ones we've done so far, I reckon this one's probably the weakest. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So first up, at number 10, we do have Tim Membry. Now, this man was originally drafted at pick 46 to the Sydney Swans, but after 2 years of AFL football, ended up getting delisted by the Sydney Swans. But straight away, St Kilda picked him up just to take a risk on him. Obviously, Sydney didn't like him, but since then he's been an absolute great key forward. He's led the St Kilda in goals for 3 seasons, which is pretty impressive. He's a small type of player at 190 centimeters, which is actually undersized for a key forward, but he makes it up with his absolutely great athleticism and how high this man can jump. Yeah, I reckon he has probably top 10 of vertical, just standing verts. He can get up to the top of the pack, just like you see him, he's down the bottom next to me, he's taking this huge mark, and he's an absolute star for the Saints. And I wouldn't be surprised if over the next couple of years he could even get an All-Australian when the St Kilda are on the rise, and I expect this man to go and rise with them. So at number 9, I've gone with Jake Stringer. Now, at the first few years of this man's career, when he originally got drafted to the Bulldogs at number 9, this man looked like an absolute stud. He was an All-Australian in 2015, and he was one of the best young small forwards in the competition. And obviously everyone remembers how good he was in 2016. If you guys didn't really know about the early stages of Jake Stringer, he was almost like 2018 Jordan Ngoe, if you remember all the hype around Jordan Ngoe. But for the Western Bulldogs, the way he was playing was so electrifying. In the 2016, obviously he was one of the best players in that Western Bulldogs side that ended up winning the premiership. But kind of ever since he went to Essendon, he kind of just been on a downward spiral. Like, his first year at Essendon, he was pretty good. He kind of kept up that Bulldogs, but like it almost feels like he just doesn't care about football anymore. He seems to be unfit a lot ever since he's been at Essendon, and yeah, so hopefully he still has a lot of time to get back to his fitness. When he's at his best, he's probably one of the best players in this draft and one of the best small forwards in the AFL. So yeah, that's why I've gone with him at number 9. At number 8, I've gone with Lockie Hunter. Now, this man was originally pick 49, and he's part of this Bulldogs midfield that runs about 14 midfielders a game. But he's one of the best kicks in the AFL. You never usually see him miss a target. He runs all day. He's one of the more high endurance players in the competition, and he's one of the more elite players at the wing position. He gets better and better every single year. He's yet to get an All-Australian, but he was part of this Bulldogs side in 2016 that was absolutely just underrated and great. So yeah, he still has time to improve, and who knows, he could be having an All-Australian around his collar soon. At number 7, I've gone with Nick Vlastuin. Now, this man was originally pick 9, and he kind of had a little bit of a slow start to his AFL career, but like the whole Richmond team seems like they did in 2017, he has had an absolutely breakout year. He was absolutely great. He just developed into one of the best halfbacks in the AFL. He's not been an All-Australian before, but he's got nominated twice. I don't know how he wasn't in 2019. I reckon he was clearly one of the best halfbacks in the league, and a lot of people reckon that he should have been an All-Australian, along with me. One of the games that really stand out when I think of Nick Vlastuin is that game against Sydney in 2019, where he played on Buddy Franklin undersized, and he absolutely put on a clinic. He took that huge specky over him, and I was like, geez, this man's an absolute gun. So yeah, he like everyone on this list, they still have a little bit of time to get better. They're about to hit the prime of their career. So this man, I'll be surprised if he doesn't end his career with at least an All-Australian once. At number 6, I've gone with Ollie Wines, who's originally picked 7. And this man, it's hard to rank him because he seems like every year he kind of like has ups and downs. Like I remember like a few years ago, he was one of the best up and coming like midfielders in the comp. And then he got named a captain in 2019 and had a horrible 2019. But then this year, when Port Adelaide ended up having a very surprising season, this man was at the forefront with Rockcliffe and Boak in that midfield. There was such a good dynamic in that midfield group, and he was arguably the second best or best, like behind Travis Boak. Ollie Wines, I reckon, was probably like on the same level. That's just how good that midfield group was. So he's returned back to his best, and even though it's harder to be an All-Australian when you're a midfielder, I feel like this man has the capabilities to do something like that. And maybe he'll go back to being a captain like he was in 2019. At number 5, I've gone with Jack Viney. Now, I only just put him above Ollie Wines. He was originally picked 26, and I feel like Ollie Wines and Jack Viney are kind of like the same type of players, but I'd give Jack Viney the edge just because of the consistency that this man has had throughout his career. He's probably one of the hardest people to the football in the AFL. You never see this man back out of a contest. Even though he actually does stream, you don't expect gamers to be like as hard as he is. But yeah, he's an absolute star. Along with that, like, I reckon he's part of one of the best like midfield groups, like with the Max Gawn, the Clayton Oliver, the Christian Petrarca. Like that's such a great little midfield group. And this man just brings the toughness, the edge to that group. He's an absolute star, and I'm surprised if he's not the captain of Melbourne in the next couple of years. At number 4, I've gone with Joe Danaher. Now, he was originally father-son to Essendon at pick 10, but he broke out into the scene. When he got drafted, he kind of got brought up into the scandal that everyone knows about. So he kind of had a lot of time to develop, but finally had his huge year in 2018 where he kicked 60 plus goals. I think it was runner-up Coleman medal only to Buddy Franklin that kicked about 70, so nothing to be ashamed about. I thought he was going to win it. That's just how impactful he was. He was an All-Australian that year to go along with it. He won Mark of the Year over that huge mark over Jake Carlisle. He looked like he was about to explode onto the scene, but sadly his kind of career got put on hold after he got the past couple of years he's just been injury prone, can barely get on the park. But it'll be interesting to see what happens when he goes to Brisbane this year, because I feel like Brisbane have a great history on their medical staff. None of their players have barely got injured in the past 2 years, which is probably a big reason why they're successful. Now they can get this man fully healthy with Eric Hipwood. This could be one of the two, like the best young pairings, because Joe Danaher I think is only like 25, 26, and that's about to enter his prime. And if Joe Danaher, when he was still up and coming, was kicking 60 goals a year, paired up with Eric Hipwood, they could be absolutely dangerous for Brisbane and probably lead into a couple premierships when he's there. At number 3, I've gone with Lachie Whitfield. Now, this man was originally the pick 1 in this draft, and I'm not saying he's a bad player. I feel like he lived up to the expectations he was meant to have on him as the pick 1. He was definitely turned out to the player that everyone thought he would be, but I just reckon the 2 players in front of him right now are just a little bit in front of him. Now, this man has yet to be an All-Australian in his career, but he's one of the best kicks of the football, and I reckon he was probably the top 20 players in 2020. He just runs all day. You can't play on him. He's untaggable because no one has the endurance that this man has. He can kick on both feet. His kicking ability is off the charts. This is a man that I reckon any AFL fan would want on their team, and you can see why they rate him so highly to give him the pick 1. At number 2, I've gone with Jack Macrae. Now, this man was originally pick 6 in the 2012 draft, but he has developed into one of the best ball-winning midfielders in the comp. He's an absolute ball magnet. He can kick on both sides of his feet. He could probably clean up that, but he's a handball machine. He's an All-Australian for the first time in 2020. I think he came top 5 in the Brownlow. This man had an absolutely excellent season. Some people I even saw had him penciled down for the Brownlow medal, and I wasn't blinking an eye to it because I can see an argument that this man could be the best midfielder in the comp. The only thing that really holds him back from ever winning a Brownlow is how stacked that Bulldogs midfield is, and they'll just be stealing votes off of him all next year and probably multiple years to come. So yeah, that's why I have Jack McRae at number 2. And number 1, I've gone with Brodie Grundy. Now, he was originally taken in pick 18, and he was taken so low simply because no one knew that they actually wanted to take a risk for a ruckman. It was rare that ruckman actually got taken this highly, and they were trying to look for like almost like the next Dean Cox, and this man has lived up to all the expectations. He's became like, he started his career kind of like slow and he was pretty bad. I'll have to say it. He was pretty bad until about 2016, where he had that breakout goal where he kicked out, everyone knows, the Grundy by Bruce McAvaney, when he kicked the game-winning goal against the Tigers at the MCG, and everyone just, that's the first time I reckon people actually heard the name Brodie Grundy, and ever since then he's been an absolutely elite ruckman. He is one of the best ruckman at hitouts in the competition. There's no other ruckman that can play like an extra midfielder at the stoppage, apart from probably Josh Dunkley when he goes into the ruck, and Mark Blusalis when he goes into the ruck. No one else can pretty much stop him. He's hard to stop. People finally got the edge on him this year when he ended up kind of having a poor year in 2020, but I didn't really, not take notice, but I feel like that he just signed a 7-year, $7 million contract. He was feeling a bit more comfortable. He was not sleeping in his own bed. It was a weird season. Other people had seasons like that. So I feel like we should give him a break. And I feel like he returned to his best in 2021. So that's the video, guys. Make sure to drop a like on this video. Can we hit 30 likes? I've been trying to hit 30 likes the past few videos, and I think we've almost done it on all the videos. I could be wrong. So thank you for that, and we're on the road to 300 subscribers, so make sure to go down below, hit the subscribe button. I upload daily AFL videos at 4 PM every single day, so turn on the notifications if you want daily AFL content. So thanks for watching, guys.